Alright, so just to show you the mind boobery, right? I just uploaded this video not too long ago. We had Truly Amazing, Forever Blessed, Shelly, make a comment. She didn't like my response. Clearly she just wants me to kick this lady to the curb, right? Get all morally, highly righteous or something. I don't know. So she canceled her subscription. So I'm 2 down, but what's new on YouTube? And then here we've got already 2 thumbs down with 18 views because I'm talking about helping children. Yeah, basically. And I guess Truly Amazing, you right, like Shelly, I don't know, figures I should drop Lady Jane like a hot potato because she talks lewd on the internet when it relates to women and men and their sexual relationships for views. Right? To which, at the end of the day, really has nothing to do with me. Now, she hasn't removed this one yet, in terms of unsubscribing to my channel, but she has removed her comment and her subscription from my channel based on what I had to say with my decision to do my community activist with somebody that I already have a history with versus trying to reach out to somebody on the internet in Africa where I don't know who they are, have no history with them, nothing, and start all over again in terms of program development or whatever, and find a new batch of kids to satisfy my need to be the person that I am and ignore little Peter and the rest of the little kids up in his neighborhood based on what some individual on the internet, oh no, here's Truly Amazing right there. Oh, isn't that interesting? But she deleted her comment unless it was a different Truly Amazing. This is not like I pay attention to these numbers at the end. It could be, maybe it was a fake user account. Who knows? All I know is it was reading as Truly Amazing in terms of pointing out that I was associating with a Dear Jane sex therapist. Whatever. I don't got time for bullshit, people. I really don't. Yeah. I have no regrets. No. See? You try and do something good, and that's what you get. Okay. So now it is, oh my Lord. May 7th of 2025. I don't know. It's 5:30 in the morning. Guess what I'm doing? Where did that go? Where did you go? Wiping down sidekicks. Yeah. Getting them ready for Mylar bags. Hoard them. Yeah. So these are Mylar bags if you don't know. What do you call it? Because you know the trolls are coming in, right? Blaming me for everything. Saying I need to own up for my hoarding. Yeah, right. Hoarding of food. Yeah, okay. No. When I gave my son that box of corned beef, I estimated it, I don't know if it was 24 cans or 32 cans in that box. I have to look, I have another box. But if there was 24 cans of corned beef in that box that I was hoarding, it would have costed $168 or so. If it was 32 cans, it'd be $224. The person that went into my room stole my food and my belongings, scattered everything around. They're the hoarder, okay? Alright? You know, because whatever they grabbed, they rushed it off to someplace else. Obviously, they have it hidden right now, right? Because, you know, they want to preserve their relationship with my daughter, whatever fucking relationship they have. And so they gotta hide the goods, right? So just in case, you know. But sooner or later, she's gonna start eating that food. Sooner or later, she's gonna start wearing my clothes or selling my clothes, and my, you know, clothing accessories. She's going to definitely try and sew with that fabric. And she stole a lot of fabric. Not only did she steal on top of the bunk and on the wall, but she also went into the bedroom and stole fabric from there. I'm going to put it at $4,000. I'm going to put the fucking fabric at $4,000. Okay? Because in the bedroom there was gaping holes. She tried to cover it up. She even brought in freaking shit from my bedroom and threw it in there to make it look like there was stuff in there after she took out shit. I bought this, what is it called? I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's a steamer that you use when you clean your house to steam things, right? Like furniture, or, you know, you want to disinfect. It produces steam to kill 99% of germs. And it's so that you don't have to use chemicals to do it, right? Well, you know, I bought that for the living room because of Amari, right? You know, with his leaking of the diapers and just whatever, right? The one spot where I thought that maybe it might be, honestly, it was in the bedroom, because I bought a little, I'm still looking for things, people. I did find the tea, by the way. I didn't see if it was all there, but from what I'm looking for, I did find tea. So I'm taking the tea off the list. Normally, hoarders, they don't know what they have, you see. Because the reason I'm talking about hoarding is because, you know, the trolls are coming in, right, with their fake user accounts. You know, just a username, signed up at such and such a time, and they have no videos, nothing, right? They're just random keyboard warriors that have no life and like to go around criticizing people. So anyway, they think they know everything, right? Because they're so bored with their own damn lives. So anyway, I'm not bored, trust me. There's nothing boring about this. It's tedious. It can get daunting, but it's not boring. Okay. I'm pretty sure, and I have another one that is a steamer to de-wrinkle clothes. So I bought two. One to de-wrinkle, the outfits as I was washing them, if I needed to do that versus using an iron. And then I bought that other thing for the, to disinfect the couch and whatever, versus always having to use a steam cleaner, right? Okay. I'm pretty sure I had them both in the bedroom on the top bunk. right there by the rail. When I went into the bedroom, I was, you know, looked a little around more. Like, I still have to look more, but I looked, right, to see what was missing, if anything was missing. And yeah, what she did is she grabbed a big bag of fabric, right, it was full of people, from the bottom, pulled it out, ran off with it, and then just put shit on top. So when I came in and I started to really look around, there was this big gaping fucking hole there, right? Like, no, that ain't happening, because all the fabric's coming from my room going into there. So anyway, there was one big gaping hole there. And then there was another gaping hole over there. You know, and probably another gaping hole. And then also, too, the little steamer thing for the clothes was on the floor, which it shouldn't have been. And so far, I haven't found the one that I need to disinfect the living room versus using a steam cleaner. Right? I mean, steam cleaner's okay, but, you know, it takes a long time for it to dry and stuff. Where this is just, you know, it heats up with the steam, and it kills 99% of all germs. She stole that, I'm pretty sure. Because I thought maybe I put it in there. No, it's not in there. And I remember putting it in with the two of them together. And one was on the ground, buried with shit that she threw on top. And the other one's missing. But I'm going to keep looking for it. Okay? The hoarders, they don't know what they have. Because they just pile everything. It's kind of like what that girl did. Rhea. They scatter things around. And they pile. Right? Where the house for me is small. It's no bigger than a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom rancher. Square footage wise. You know, came in with a lot of people. Came in with a foundation with non-profit equipment, right? Whatever. And in regards to food prep, oh, that needs more sugar. Let me get some more sugar. In regards to food prep, well, I don't know if you've been watching what's going on in the world, but it looks like India's popped off now. I mean, India was so quiet on the world stage, and now all of a sudden they're fighting with freaking Pakistan. Having standoffs with nuclear bombs. Like, what the heck? Where the hell did that come from? Out of the blue. Just poof. Yeah. Out of the blue. What do you think's going to happen with that? Trump is trying to play it off like they've been just fighting for, you know, centuries, hundreds of years, nothing new here, moving along. Well, I don't know about that. You know, considering all things said, with what is going on with the supply chains and everything, like, I know people sitting up in Canada think that whatever's going on in the United States isn't really going to affect them in terms of food scarcity, right? Because with these tariffs, whatever's going on there in the States, the shelves are already starting, the shelves are already starting to go bare. There's nothing in the ports coming in, and the few that is coming in, will soon dry out. Hold on a minute. Yeah, truckers are getting laid off. Lots of companies are just firing people everywhere. Right? Like manufacturing companies and stuff just shutting their doors down. People go to work, find out that day that the whole place is shut down. Yeah. Nothing, no shipping containers in the ports. Like, if something doesn't turn around, like, soon, like real soon,
within the next 2 to 3 months, if not sooner. I don't know. It's going to get pretty dire out there. And for Canadians to think that that's not going to somehow affect us, oh, they're nuts. They're completely nuts. Now, mind you, if you're rolling in the dough, being a bad person, just so that you can brag about how wealthy you are, then I guess food won't be an issue for you, right? Because you'll be able to afford it from wherever it comes from, because, you know, throughout time it's been like that. But if you're just your average person, then no, it's going to be pretty rough. And it's, you know, so now these are $1.77 when I bought them. Of course, I bought a whole whack of them. I think I might have a few somewhere downstairs kicking around, but I don't go downstairs. I will, and when I find them, you know, I'll bring them up. But I don't normally use these things. But, you know, with Andre, it will be easy for him to cook these up and either eat for himself, or him and Amari, or make a meal with it for everybody, or whatever, right? But when you buy in bulk, oh, this is not a very good, no, I don't want to have to go in my room and look for another one. When you buy in bulk, you know, you gotta kind of protect the food from the elements one way or another, and including from pests. So what I'm doing right now is I'm wiping them down. Keep losing my cloth. I'm wiping them down. See, that's the issue with going blind. Things start to blend together and you don't see things as fast as you'd like to, right? Because the colors, they merge together. The less color, the more it merges together. So when you buy these, if you buy in bulk, it's a good idea to wipe the seams, wipe in here, because, you know, moths come in with these things, rice, whatever. And then, of course, you know, they like to live in this kind of stuff on the seams. So, just make sure you do a good job in case there's any little moth eggs or something. Just slightly damp, right? And then let it dry. And then once it's dry, I would advise, I mean, putting them into a cardboard box and leaving them like that as is, I don't think would work very well for very long, because it's easy for moths to get through cardboard. As a matter of fact, it's a, you know, it's a haven for them to go into cocoons and do whatever moths do, right? Because they can eat the cardboard, right? But if you put them in something like this, after you've done that, and then put in an oxygen absorber or two into the bag itself, don't open it for the first couple of weeks, just in case you miss something, and then chances are you won't get a moth infestation. Now, if you were a hoarder, you wouldn't care about that. You would just go off and buy it, stuff it into something, and then go throw it off somewhere, and then go do it again and again and again. until such time, who knows what you're going to get. Whereas with something like the way I'm doing it, what you get, or you get your mentally disturbed thieves that befriend you and offer to help you, are eager to help you only because they want to steal from you. Right? So you gotta watch out for that. So if you don't have to watch out for moths, that kind of thing, you know, moisture is another one. Put them in this, it keeps them out of the moisture, right? But you also have to worry about thieves, who very well could be a hoarder, in the true definition of what a hoarder means. Because if they were a true prepper, if they were a prepper like me, they wouldn't have had to steal anything from anybody. They wouldn't have gone out of their way to hurt somebody, to hoard food, right? Because, you know, they'd be preppers. Preppers are different. We take time to prep our food so that it stays good for years. We protect it from the elements. We protect it from pests. We try to protect it from thieves, but we don't always know who a thief is. So, what I'm trying to say is, you know, if you notice what I'm buying, this, and I bought those little gravy packets. I did restock up on ham, and nice ones. Nice ones, nice ones. The ones that she took. I have no desire to buy any more canned ham for a long time right now. No. This is a 1 pound. Nice. So, I'm good for ham. I'm good for sockeye salmon. Yep. Yes, I am. I don't have to worry about it. And, you know, I think maybe she stole my bucket of molasses. I'm not sure. I know she stole a bucket of honey. Because one is missing. At least so far from what I can tell. And, you know, I want to make a list. I still haven't found the sockeye salmon. And that's another thing. People who, like, okay, you know, like, you know, troll saying that whatever goes on with me is because of me. Well, I disagree. Because like for the yard, for example, my son had 14 years to come out there and help me, and he basically didn't. If anything, he was destroying things and creating a big pile out there, not once, twice, but 3 times. Okay, and this last time, everybody used it as a means to do what they did to me, which was no fault of my own. I did not ask my son to bust up anything. I didn't ask him to throw out anything from the basement. I didn't ask him to move a girl into my house and poke through my shit and throw my shit out. No, I didn't ask my son to throw out sewing desks and sewing machines or whatever to accommodate somebody. Right? My landlady's not stupid. Right? She could have helped. It was her responsibility to help remove that stuff. Some of that stuff was her shit, with the beams from the porch and everything, right? Same thing in the past when she did the kitchen downstairs. You know, she did the kitchen because it was falling apart. All that shit went outside. I recycled as much as I could. I threw out as much the, you know, rotten cupboards or whatever into the garbage bin as I could. But at the end of the day, I couldn't do it all, and then it became a heat score, which was not my fault, when in fact my landlord should have taken all that stuff out at the time when the kitchen was renovated. She should have removed it versus leaving it in the alley, like in the driveway, for me to deal with it, as if I could do anything with it. And what I did do, you know, I used the floorboards. I used the floorboards to make subfloors. Like, I used, because they changed the plywood. They had to rip up the floor in order to change the cupboards, and that went all outside. So I took that wood and I made subfloors for the sheds to use the wood to get rid of it. Right? Whose problem was that? Well, obviously it became my problem because I had all that wood outside in the back. And so, you know, what I'm trying to say is these trolls that come in and just talk stupid shit, like, your day's coming, man. And if you think I'm hoarding food, well, you know, I tell Andre, in my next life, I don't know if I want to do this again, because it's not easy. It's very time-consuming to do it correctly, and people abuse you for it, right? But yet make jokes about how they're gonna come and ask you for food if the shit hits the fan. And that's the thing. If the shit hits the fan, they will come and ask you for food. Right? You know what I mean? There are more takers in the world than there are givers. And, you know, I'm starting to try and look at people like that way. I'm trying to, you know, look at people and ask myself, are you a taker or are you a giver? And, you know, and I ain't gonna worry about the takers. And these trolls that come in and, okay, well, you talk to me in a year from now, okay? If things don't turn around for the United States of America and the economy gets back on track where people can afford to buy food and have affordable housing or whatever it is, just meet their daily necessities, it's going to get ugly. And for any person sitting up in Canada, I don't care who you are, thinking that it's not going to affect us one way or another, you got another thing coming. And you're going to wish to hell you were a fucking hoarder, being that you like to accuse people of hoarding when in fact, you know, they're being responsible. Because for as much as that bitch took from me, people, you know, sure, I had to get the monkeys off my back. I spent a little extra money on the credit card, whoop-de-doo, you know, but now I'm at the point, and it came very quickly. It didn't take me years. See, that's the thing. When I first started out, how long I've been doing this hardcore? Long time. Right? And I was almost at the point where I was almost done. Right? That was the point of having Rhea come to the house and help me just to start moving out a few things from my room. You know, figuring out how to sell a few things, just whatever, so that, you know, I could just get on with doing other things versus this, right? But no, that's for her, you know, she had to steal. She couldn't do it for herself. Well, people that want to side with her, whether they know her or not, won't acknowledge that she stole $8,000 to $10,000 worth of stuff from me, with about $4,000 worth of fabric between the two rooms, not including, I haven't really even looked really that much into the playroom yet to see what she's done in there, because it was a smash and grab, people. She went from spot to spot and went on her impulses and stole what she thought where there was dollar value, or it would benefit her with her sewing, because she sews you know, little outfits for African people for their weddings or wherever or wherever. You know, she's an ex-stripper that likes the glitter and the beads. Why do you think she was at my door playing with my beads? She's the fucking hoarder. Because whatever she did with my stuff, it's all in one big pile, all mixed up. Yeah, where I actually take the time to sort it out and organize it. And I'm getting close to getting back to where I almost was before that bitch did what she did. And I'm actually surprised. Okay, so we're going to do by category. This is a 2-gallon size Mylar bag. We don't want a moth to get in there. So we're just going to close that up just a little bit for now. Because they are flying around my house because I've been getting things from the grocery store delivered. So they come in with the deliveries. Or they come in when you go grocery shopping. Right? And then I'm going to put what it is. I kind of know where I want them. And it's Andre's cooking day today. So today he's going to do, I have a little piece of ham, 2 of them, but he's going to take 1, and he's going to take my Pyrex Pyrex rectangle glass baking dishes, and potatoes. Gonna do the potatoes first. Cut them, peel them, cut them up, spread them between the 2 baking dishes. A little bit of olive oil or whatever oil they got downstairs. Season it a bit. Put them in the oven. And then do half bake. And then I think the ham is like somewhat pre-cooked. You know, and then sprinkle in chunks of ham, right? Stir it in with the potatoes. That we figured out so far. Make a little salad. So you can make a little salad. And I told him we'll do canned corn. He wanted to go get fresh corn. I said, no, not today. I said, I got lots of canned corn in the house. We'll just, everybody loves, like cream style corn. That will go really good with that. So, you know, I'll get 3 cans of cream style corn. You can make his little salad, and that will be our dinner for everybody in the house. Yeah. Another day, I'll let him take one of these things. Well, not one of these things, but 2 or 3 anyway. I don't know how much you can make with them, you know, but 2 or 3, or maybe 2, and then he can add something extra with it to stretch it out, right? You know what I mean? Like he could do 2 of these, and then boil up a little bit of spaghetti. And then just mix in a bit of spaghetti with this just to stretch it out, right? Because we're feeding, well, 4 adults and Andre has 5. And then, of course, there's Mari. So, you know, you need a fair amount of food to keep everybody full, right? And then with him doing that, because I have a lot of Boyan cubes and stuff like that, or whatever, we might be able to make our own eventually. But for $1.77 a pack, at this point, what I'm paying is worth it. And it won't stress him out. You know? It won't stress him out. Because, you know, he's young, right? And then you just fill up the whole bloody bag. By category. It just takes time. Yeah, it takes up space. But, you know, really, I don't know if that's me making noise. Cats. Yeah. So whatever these trolls have got to say doesn't change anything in terms of I got food in the house and they probably don't. And if they do, well, I'm sure if they got robbed, they'd have nothing left. Where with me being robbed, well, I still got stuff left. Right? And it's, you know, it's not as daunting to replace it. I'm at the point now, and it didn't take me long, 3 weeks, right? To basically replace, for the most part, what I think she took. I even bought some raisins. And I'll buy a few more raisins because I know she stole raisins. She was probably trying to run off with 4 jars full. She probably got 2 one-size gallons. I haven't done the maple sugar, but I'm not worried about the maple sugar because I have other maple sugar in the house. It's just a matter of getting to it. And if and when I want, I can always buy it again, which I probably will at some point next year. If it's still available. Or maybe this year. I don't know. I'm not worried about it right now. The sockeye salmon that I canned up, I have not found. If I don't find them, then when the season comes, I will probably recan. I'll have to buy new jars. And I will do it to compensate for what she took. Right? As she tries to hide that in her house so that Tisha can't see them. Oh, where did this come from? Sockeye salmon in a jar. So are you canning now, Rhea? Yeah, maybe. Or were those my mom's? Huh? What do you think? Okay, so now I got more. So I'm doing it in bits and batches. You see what I'm doing here, right? Now, if I was hoarding food, the easier way would be to get a cardboard box, throw them all into a cardboard box, and then just throw the cardboard box off in the corner somewhere. And go buy more. Oh, that's me. What's this? I'm freaking my cell phone. Okay. And then, find your rag. And you start all over again. And I'm telling you, sometimes it's easier just to do it this way. Buy it in bulk, get it over with. Especially if it's on sale. Do your prep. Prepare it so it's, you know, well protected. Like I said, from the pests, the elements, moisture, that kind of stuff. And, I don't know. Try and find a, I don't know. I mean, I would never have thought that girl would, I didn't even know people did stupid shit like that, people. That was just too fucking bizarre what that bitch did. I mean, I've heard about smash and grabs in freaking malls and that kind of thing. But in your house from somebody you know, It was definitely a smash and grab. She took what she wanted, for the most part. Yeah. But what I'm finding is, I don't know, I'm still feeling okay with what I've done. I'll just be glad when it's over with. Yes, I'm making it more work for myself by buying a little extra, but Andre is so excited to go downstairs and cook today. You don't even know. Right? And, oh yeah, for this troll that wants to sit up there and talk about school and all this shit with Andre, let me tell you something. That boy can do things with the electronics that you probably couldn't even do. He knows how to hook up the computer to the TV. I don't know how he did that, but he figured that one out. Right? Clearly he figured out how to run the live stream yesterday. I only gave him little pointers as to what to look for in terms of how to navigate YouTube, right? And what to look for, right? I showed him on my PC what to look for, and he found it on the cell phone. So there you go, right? And when I told him, you know, I asked him about, you know, the reading, right? And he says he reads every day, right? He's always reading. And I had him read something to me out loud the other day. It was better. He's getting better at it in terms of reading out loud. And I told him, yes, that's what you need to do. You need to read out loud every day, right? He still has his gaps in there, but so that you gain confidence. That's what it is, right? But in terms of reading and understanding and comprehending what he's reading, he's been doing really good. Like, really good. And you want to know why that is, people? Because he's self-educating. He's motivated. He wants to learn how to read. He needs to read. He's got to figure things out when he's doing shit on the computer. He's doing live streams, and he's doing this, and he's doing that, and, you know, and he taught himself. He did a Malcolm X, only he didn't use a dictionary yet. I told him, no, you need to start now using a dictionary as you're building onto word power, right? But, right? Because, you know, he's doing really good. Really good. Yeah, so once I bring in the dictionary, you know, and get him to focus on building on his word power, breaking up words, and just in terms of spelling and stuff, it will come. He's not ready to write. He doesn't want to write things yet. He's too busy building things with the computer, with the live streams and his games, and just, I don't know, he chats here and he chats there, and now he's going to be, you know, helping me with my stuff, right, because I can't see. Plus, it gives him a format to work with. Right? Because, you know, God forbid if he starts getting harassed by freaking trolls on YouTube. Yeah, because you know they'll go looking for him, being that they've got so much to say about him. But yeah, no, he can't blame nobody for himself for not reading. But the thing is, he can read, so he takes credit for that. He takes credit for that. And I give him credit for that. Yeah. Because he reads every day. You know, Nana, you don't even know. Every day I'm reading. I said, I know, Andre, and that's good. And it's paying off. Yeah. So, stick it in your ear, troll. You don't know what you're talking about. Nope. If I were you, I'd go out and buy some food and start hoarding it. Yeah. Unless, of course, you completely trust in your government to feed your ass and make sure there's always going to be food available. Yeah. Or maybe you'll do a RIA and just do a smash and grab, and that's how you'll solve your problem with no food in your house, because you're a fucking thief. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, if you want to sit up there and criticize people like me for doing the things that we do, yeah, well, yeah, you know, then, yeah, you'd be the one that would be stealing and smashing and grabbing and robbing and do the freaking home invasions and the looting. Yeah, that's your character. That's not my character. Nope. Okay, so I got one more freaking bag yet, so I've done quite a few bags. By the time I'm done, I'll probably have about 4 of these. 3 or 4 full. Which is good. And it will go fast, trust me. But, I'll have to put the brakes on it. Spread it out. Right? And then, as things get more organized and cleared out, and Andre gets kind of familiar with these things, then we have to figure out how to make our own. Make our own. To cut back on costs. But right now, I'm going for convenience. Okay, I bought these for convenience. And just to make Andre's cooking experience successful. If he wants to use a couple of these with his meal. Or just have him in the house to eat when he wants. For him and himself, or Amari, or us, or whatever, right? And the $1.77 per bag, or, I mean, that was a pretty good deal considering everything, right? Oh, my Lord. So that's all I wanted to say. I'm still at the tail end of things in terms of finishing up with this kind of crap. And I'm still looking forward to it. You don't even know. And if I had to choose between empty cupboards or doing what I've been doing, despite everything around it, all the negativity that comes with it, with people, you know, taking it for granted and all that stupid shit, I'd still do it. I don't want to do it though. I'd still do it, but I'm glad I don't have to do it that much anymore. I'm at the tail end of things. Obviously, Rhea put me back, right, big time, and in a lot of ways, financially, because I had to spend money to, you know, to compensate for what she stole, and I'm still not done looking. Like I said, I can't find the sockeye salmon. I can't find those little jars that I made for Amari where the grammage was weighed out, right, in terms of, you know, the beef, the chicken, and that kind of thing. I can't find those yet. I know 1 tub of honey at this point is missing. Maybe a big tub of molasses. I'm not sure. I'd have to double check. And oh, tons of fabric. 4,000 grand. $4,000. Oh, yeah. Between the 2 rooms. Yeah. Specific kinds. She went for the good stuff. Just like she went for the maple sugar. Just like she went for the maple syrup. Just like she went with the one, she tried to just walk off with the 1 size gallon jar of raisins. Not 1, but 2, but she already probably walked off with 2. She was trying to probably walk off with the whole case. The whole box, right? And plus she took other jars like 1 size gallon because some are missing. In terms of what's written on the box isn't in the box. Because they were taken out of the box and she put something else in the box because that's what she does. Bait and switch. To hide what she does. Yeah. So she can go home and hoard it. Because you know she's hoarding it. Because she can't put it up with pride. You know what I mean? She can't store it with pride. Right? She won't do something like this and then have it in a nice little section where Tisha might come in and see it. She's got to hide it and bury it under shit and fucking pile shit on top of it. And, You know what I mean? And dig through it like a fucking rat to get to it, right? Because she just will never know when somebody's going to come by and recognize something. I'm just saying. That's hoarding. No, what I do is not hoarding. Okay, that is not hoarding. Giving my son a box full of corned beef, to which we had corned beef with cabbage 2 nights ago that he made with that corned beef in the dollar amount of $200. That's not hoarding, okay? So keep that in mind. Yeah. Okay, it is so early, I can't lose steam. I just gotta keep plugging. I actually put in a pretty long day yesterday. But whatever this bitch did really put me back on things. So I just gotta keep plugging away, stay focused, ain't got no time for no petty bickering, ain't got no time for freaking mentally ill individuals trying to project their sourpuss ways onto my life as they ignore bad behavior from other people that affect my life, right? In terms of, you know, it's easy to justify for what Rhea did. She was poor, she was on welfare, she had kids, nobody was helping her. She had to go into Judy's house and steal food and steal fabric and other little devices like that little steam thing if I can't find it. You know, shit like clothes. You know, she needed those clothes. She had to have those sexy clothes because she didn't have any for herself, or at least maybe make money with it. You know, she had to steal some of my tools, right? You know what I'm saying? So, whatever. Go side with that. Bitch like that will turn on you just as fast as she turned on me. It's just a matter of time. Yeah, I think when you get older, you start to realize that. When you're young and dumb, you don't think those things are going to ever happen to you. Like the things that have happened to me with my family. And still continue to happen because of fucking young and dumb fucking idiots. Right, but the world is messed up. So, I guess that's all I gotta say about hoarding.